Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire Dishwasher Control Panel Assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair and it'll only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new Control Panel Assembly. The Control Panel Assembly comes with the touchpad. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if the touchpad has failed and it's not responding to your inputs, or the control panel is damaged. In order to change a part, we have to open up the dishwasher door. Now that we have the door open, you can see that there's screws that hold the door together. We're going to remove the bottom two on each side that hold the outer door panel on. We're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to take them out. Once you have the screws out, we can lift the door up. All you have to do is carefully lift up on the door, and it should drop down a little bit to come out of the control panel. Then you can pull it out a little bit, lift it off, and set it aside. Now we can open up the door and use a Torx 20 driver to remove the screws that hold the control panel assembly on. Once you have the last screw out, you can let the door go closed and then let the control panel drop down. And we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws that hold the cover on. Once you have the screws out, we can take the cover off. There's a couple locking tabs right here that we have to release. Once you have them pressed over, you can lift up on the tab to release them. And we're going to carefully lift the cover off from the locking tab on this side. If the grommet doesn't come out, you want to make sure you press it out. Then we can lift the cover off and set it aside. Once you have the cover off, we're going to disconnect the red and black wires off the control board. Just going to use a small flathead screwdriver to help pop them off. Then we can disconnect the wiring harnesses on the control board. All you have to do is carefully pull them up. Once you have the wires off, we can set the control panel assembly on a towel on the counter so we don't damage it and change the part. Now we can take off the last two wiring harnesses. All you have to do is carefully unplug these. Once you have them unplugged, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws that hold the main control board onto the control panel. Once you have all the screws out, we can lift the main control board off the control panel and pull it out. The last thing we have to remove is the ribbon cable and the display for the control panel. Just have to unhook the ribbon cable from these little holders. Then we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to carefully press on this release tab while we pull down on the display board to get it unlatched. Once you have it free, you can pull it out and set it aside. Now that we have everything removed, we can change the part. Here's the old control panel assembly next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Now we can put the new control panel assembly together. First thing we're going to do is peel this protective layer off. You don't want to leave this on. Just peel it off so the control panel is nice and clean. Once you have it off, we can put the control panel assembly together. Now we can put the display board in. You just want to make sure this little cutout here goes into the notch. And you can rotate it up and lock the other side in. Then we can route the ribbon cable through the holders. All you have to do is slide them underneath. Once you have it on, we can put the control board back in. To put it in, you just want to set it into place and line up all the screw holes. Once you have it in place, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Now we can reconnect the ribbon cables. All you have to do is push them down into place. Make sure they go all the way down and get a good connection. Now that you have everything together, we can put it into the machine. To put the control panel back in the machine, we're going to reconnect all the wires first. So we had the two individual wires. The black one went here and the red one went above it. Once you have those on, we can reconnect the wire harnesses. All you have to do is line them up, push them down, make sure they go on all the way so you get a good connection. Once you have them in place, we can grab the cover and put it on. Just going to make sure that the tab goes underneath the cutout here, and make sure the wires go underneath it as you lower it down. And then we're going to grab the grommet and make sure it goes into the cutout. Once you have it in, you can push the cover down so it locks into the two locking tabs here. Then we can grab the Phillips screwdriver and put the screws in. Once you have the screws tightened down, we can open up the door. And we're going to lift up on the control panel and line it up so it mounts onto the door. Once you have it in place, we're going to grab the Torx 20 driver and put in the screws. Once you have the control panel assembly on, you can let go of the door, and then we can put the outer door back on. To put that on, we're going to set this cutout on the door onto the little shelf on the hinge, and then there's a couple cutouts here in the door that you have to line up with these tabs right here, and then you can see the bottom is has that cutout, because when you put it on you have to lift it up and lock it into place. So we're just going to set the door onto the little hinge shelf, and then open up the door a little bit, and then you want to make sure that the cutouts go on the side, and then lift up on the door so it locks into the control panel. Once you have it in place, we're going to carefully hold on to the outer panel while you open the door so it doesn't drop down and the screw holes are still lined up. Then we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have all the screws tightened down, you can close the dishwasher door, plug it back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.